Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 8 of Become a Citizen Developer, in which we are going to talk about email automation. No wonder email are the most heavily used business application, and they are capable of doing far more than just sending and receiving email communication. We can utilize Gmail and Outlook both and their capabilities to perform the task. And as a business user, you and your team members would be spending inevitably spend great deal of time sending and receiving emails or definitely as a business user, you and your team would be inevitably spending a great deal of time sending and receiving emails, replying to the emails, sending the attachments, acknowledging the tickets being raised, and so on and so forth. So let's see how can we better manage these tasks using Studio X. Now, what is email automation? Email automation refers to task automation that is related to our email account. We can automate minor tasks involving our email account that have a predictable structure and even larger tasks which constitute small tasks. So any task that is related to sending and receiving of emails can be automated, but just not that. Even we can automate the replying, the forwarding, the deleting of the mails, or marking emails as read, or moving them into different folders, categorizing them, segregating them, downloading the attachments from n number of mails. All of this can be done using Studio X and using email automation. So let's see how do we actually achieve it. Now, let me quickly walk you through the problem statement that we would be implementing. So here we see that there are a lot of folders, out of which I would be operating on the test folder. And we see that there are 500 emails in the test folder. So what we would be doing, that we would make our solution to read all these emails one by one. Say pick up the emails that have test in email subject. So 2 of them have test in their email subject, while 3 of them does not have test in the email subject. So what we can do, that we would segregate them as one category having test in the email subject and the other category not having test in their email subject. And we would delete one of the category, whereas save the attachment of the other category. Okay, so let's move to Studio X. Once we select mail, we'll get all the email activities related in here. We can use desktop Outlook account, or we can use Microsoft Exchange 365 account, or we can use a Gmail account. So as I have desktop Outlook account, so I'm going to move on with use desktop Outlook account. And it is very convenient to use this because automatically you'll get the account populated in. Now it is referenced as Outlook. Similarly, as we were referencing each of our Excel with a name, it could be a meaningful name. We can change the Outlook to give it a meaningful name. So same way as we were doing it in Excel automation, you can refer that video. Now that we have to read all the emails, which is as of now is 5, but it could be 5 or 5K or 50. And that we have to read each email, which means we have to iterate over each email. And for that, we have for each email, which repeats the contained activity once for each email in the specified folder. So we would just drag in this activity. We would specify which folder do we want to iterate it. It is loading, and now it has loaded all the folders that is there on my email account, out of which I'm going to select my test folder. I would want to read only the unread emails. And over here, I can put in a filter that I want to read 50 emails, 500 emails, or I do not want to put any capping on it. So I would select no capping required. Now that I have to categorize it into the ones containing subject in the email, test in their email subject, and the other category which does not have test in their email subject. So I'll click on this. I have a condition builder, which means I need not to worry about the syntax. It would all be very easy for me. So I'll say, okay, current mail subject. If it contains test, so I'm going to pass in a value. So I say, okay, if it contains test, save. Okay. So what I'm going to do, if it contains, say if it contains text or test, I'm going to delete that particular mail. Okay. So I'll delete the current mail. And if it does not contain test, then I'm going to save the email attachment. So I want to save the current email. And where do I want to save it? I want to save it over here. Okay, so I would pass in the file path. So I'll say, okay, save it here inside my project X folder. Now we also see a property named filter by file name. Now suppose if a particular email, or if out of the category of email that I've segregated, if it contains different type of files, say it contains Excel file, Word file, database file, photographs, pictures, and I only want to download certain type of files. Say I only want to concentrate on Excel file, or I only want to concentrate on Word file. So I can use this activity to only download those files that I require, whereas I can ignore the rest. So now let's quickly run this thing and see what happens. So here I'll show you that we have 5 unread emails present in the test folder. And now let me give this thing a run to see what happens. And this is the project X folder. So here we see that out of the 5 emails that we had, only 3 are present and the 2 are deleted. Now if we see it's a Word document, and again a Word document, and again a PDF. So let's go back here and see, okay, so we have 2 Word document and a PDF present in here. So this is how we used few of the Outlook activities to, segregate and delete the unwanted emails as well as save the attachment. Now let's move on to the next activity, wherein we would club up the Word automation, Excel automation, as well as email automation to see a better example. So let me now again walk you through the problem statement, and then we would go on how we would be automating the same. So here we are, and we see that there's a registration Excel file present in here. So what are we supposed to do? We have 2 Word file named Monday and named Tuesday. And for Monday and for Tuesday, we have users to whom we have to send the mail. So suppose if we have to send it to Adria Williams, so we would use the Monday template, which is here. So we would use this template. We would replace the first name, day and time slot from this Excel present in here, and then would send this mail to the concerned email ID given in here to that particular person. Okay. So now let's go on saying that how we would be doing this. Okay. So first of all, what thing we have to note it down here is that we get all the information from the Excel. Okay. So we would first be using that Excel file. So let's just get that Excel file. And where is that Excel file? So it's here in registration. And we would not be referencing it as Excel. Let's just change the name and refer it as registration. Okay. Now that we have the registration file with us, what we have to actually see, we have to see that whether the person has Monday or whether the person has Tuesday under a column. And accordingly, we would be assigning the particular this thing to that person, that whether that person is supposed to use the Word file for Monday or the Word file for Tuesday. Okay. So that we have to iterate again row by row over everything. We would be using for each. So we'll go with a for each. So here we are for each Excel row. Okay. For each Excel row in what range? So let's just indicate the range. I think it's data. Yeah. So registration and then data. Okay. So it has headers. Yes, it does have headers. You can see the first row is headers. So we have marked that as headers. Now what we have to do is that based on what value is present in here, whether it's Monday or whether it's Tuesday, accordingly, we'll have to copy the template. So for that, what we can do is we can have a copy file here. Okay. Okay. Now from where do we want to copy? Okay. So we want to copy from, if we have Monday here, which means we want to copy Monday. If we have Tuesday here, which means we want to copy Tuesday. Okay. So if I go by this way, that if I say, okay, day, okay, or let me first help you in a notepad explaining it. Now, what I meant to say is that if Monday has been read in the Excel, then if I simply write that copy from monday.docx, I think that will work. And if Tuesday has been read from the Excel, then if I simply append Tuesday.docx in front of Tuesday, it would do my work. So all that I have to do is that I have to read in the day from the Excel sheet and just append .docx to it, and it would do my work, right? So what I can do is that I'll go with this way, that and append just docx in front of it. And that's it. So if it will read Monday, it will write monday.docx. If it will read Tuesday, it will write tuesday.docx. And that's it. So this is from where I want to copy it. And to where do I want to copy it? And now where do I want to copy it? There's an email folder in here. And inside this folder, I'll have to copy. Okay. And which way do I want to copy it? So I have to copy it like this: Monday_Adria_Williams. Okay. So this is how I want to copy it. So let's get that thing also done. What I can do is I can have a right line here to actually see whether what I am actually trying to write is getting written correctly or not. Okay. So I'll just open this text or open the advanced editor. So what I can do here is that I want to copy it inside emails folder, which is very clear. Okay. Now, inside the email folder, I want to have my Monday thing written. So which is my day. Underscore the first name, which is current row. And then I want the first name. Underscore, then I want the last name. So here I go with the last name. And last but not the least, I want to have a docx appended. That's it. Okay. So as of now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to comment this thing to see whether this is getting printed right or not. Okay. So let me also close this thing as well. And let me give this thing a run. So that we see that our path is not broken and it's getting printed fine. So let's open the output pane. So we see emails under that hyphen, which means inside that folder, Monday_Adria_Williams.docx, which means everything is working fine. So I'm simply going to copy this. So I'll copy this up and I'll uncomment this thing and paste it here. Okay. So text, and then here it goes. Now, if I give this thing a run, what would it do? It would create templates for each user present in. Okay. So let's go back and see. Here it goes. It is created for every user. And if we want to match it, that whether it has created correctly or not, so we can even do that. So if we pick up for, say, Norman Babe, Monday is there. I think for every user, there's a Monday file and then there's a Tuesday file. So we can simply check in like that. We have Monday for Adria, we have Tuesday for Adria, Monday for Jeffy, Tuesday for Jeffy. Okay, so now that we've done this, that we've already created the template, now what's left in with us? That we have to replace the template now with the value given in. So what we have to do, that in each template, okay, let's go this way. Now that we've created this thing for Adria, we have to replace this thing, first name, day, and time slot for Adria. Okay, so that also can simply be done using replace text. But earlier to that, because we would be using that inside a Word file, so we'll have to use a Word file resource. So we'll use that. Okay, which Word file are we accessing? Is this Word file which we are accessing. So we'll just copy it and given the name here, because this is the file that we are accessing. Okay, then we would have certain replace text activities here. So here we go with replace text in document. Okay, what value do we want to search in? So first of all, we want to search in a first name. So we'll just copy this thing. I would just be replacing the first name, and similarly, you can replace the others. So the first name would be replaced by the first name of the user. So here we go. Now that we have replaced everything, what do we want to do? We want to just simply send the mail, attaching the same file. So we would use a send email activity. Okay. To what account do we want to send in? Okay. So what I can do, I can simply use this thing inside an Outlook email. I use a desktop Outlook app, and inside that I use it. So probably I think I can refer my Outlook account here. So I need not to pass it. Then to whom I want to send it, I'm going to send it to myself only. So selected account. Subject, I can write as test email automation. Okay. And I'm going to keep it as draft, and I'm not going to send it. Okay. Which file do I want to send it? Is the same file that I just copied. Okay, not this one. The same Word file that we were editing is the file that we want to send in. So let's just copy the same file. Okay. And let's just pass the same file here. Okay. So here we go. What is it? Okay, so, okay, just a second. I do not have to send it to myself. Instead, mail ID that I'm supposed to send in is mentioned in the Excel. Okay, so this is what we've done. So let me now close it and give it a run. Probably I should be able to see all these drafts in my mailbox, mail account. So let's just wait for it. Okay, so it says something went wrong. Okay, it already exists. Okay, skip. Or I should rather say stop, because it is going to throw the same error for all the activities. Okay. So to avoid this, it already exists. While we are copying the file, there's an option to overwrite. So if we just simply click on the overwrite file, even if the file already exists, it is going to overwrite the same file. So that would do our job. And this time it would not throw error, because even if the file is existing, it would overwrite the existing file. And it is now opening the file and actually replacing the name, Adria, Jeffy, Norman. Okay. And once it is replacing the mail, parallelly, it is also trying to send the mail, but because I've set that option to save it as draft, all of those emails would be getting saved into my draft mailbox. So I'll just open the draft mailbox to show you. So here we have the draft mailbox. So you can see for Jeffy, the Jeffy email is attached. For Adria, the Adria email is attached. Okay. So that is how we can utilize email automation to do a lot of tedious tasks, as I've already shown. So thanks for watching the video, and stay tuned for another episode of Become a Citizen Developer. Thanks for watching.